How do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that, given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week?
Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm a freelance teacher working in China and Taiwan, and I teach high school and university students and adult classes for business people, engineers, anybody right up to retirement age or beyond. In total, I have about 10,000 hours of classroom experience. I recently joined the RSA, inspired by this animation that you've probably seen based on Sir Ken Robinson's speech about education reform. I've also organised several TEDx events under license from TED and given speeches at Ignite on the idea of investing money in poor people. But my favourite activity are the challenge events that I organise, where we ask teams to compete against each other to complete some task in a very short time. The most successful of these was the Entrepreneur Challenge, which I always describe as a recipe which produces a different cake every time. And this started out as a high school activity, and the students didn't come into it with the intention of becoming entrepreneurs. But they very quickly learned that all change in the world begins with somebody saying that there's a better way. And they learned that entrepreneurship is not just about making money, it's about providing some benefit to society. Entrepreneurs are people who solve problems. So this is a very empowering workshop. We start out by asking people to form teams, and to do that they have to interview each other to find the people they want to work with, and they have to sell themselves to get into the best teams. Then we talk about creativity, and I don't believe that creativity is a talent. I believe it's a skill, it's a process that can be taught, and we have ways for bringing out the best in people. Once we have a big list of ideas, we ask the teams to evaluate them by asking a lot of very tough questions to select the best ones. Once they've chosen 2 or 3 of their favourite ideas, the mentors and the judges walk around advising people and trying to keep the landscape tilted towards completion. But really, at this point, everything's out of control, because the teams are really excited about their own ideas and making them real, and all we can do is advise them on how to reach their goal. And the goal is to sell the idea, to get other people to buy into it and give you their support so that you can make it real. Now, we provide a framework to help them make that happen. We talk about the information they should include, but really they have the freedom to tell their own story, their own way. Finally, it's showtime. Each of the teams sends one person to stand at the front and present their idea to the judges and to the audience. And the prizes are given by the audience as well as the judges for the best ideas, the best teams, the best speakers, etc. So everybody goes home understanding that they have the power to be the change. They understand that entrepreneurship is not a talent, it's a skill, it's a process that can be learned, and it's a way of thinking about the world that's essential if we want to get ahead. Now, as a teacher, my first responsibility is to ensure that my students have the habit of initiative so that they can be the person making the change. And all the knowledge and resources they need, that's available on the internet. What they really need is an experiential learning opportunity, a way to internalize the lessons and make it real. Because the alternative is to quit your day job and spend your life savings on some business venture and then discover that maybe you didn't want to be an entrepreneur. So as a teacher, this workshop is a really valuable tool in preparing your students for the future. So the plan now is to franchise this workshop to teachers and community leaders worldwide. I want to use the same model as TEDx or Ignite or Startup Weekend by providing a workshop in a box, a complete kit that enables anybody to reproduce this same workshop and this same program without any business experience. You see, any high school teacher can follow a step-by-step guide to teach this process over 6 weeks or so. And anybody can lead a group of friends through a fun, challenging activity that takes all day, providing that I make the process simple enough for them. The challenge is to create a manual and teaching material and website that makes all of this accessible to be used by other people around the world. The process that I've been teaching for years is currently all still in my head. I've never written down this recipe because it is quite complex and needs to be presented in a very visual way. And I'm a terrible artist. all of the images and the videos that I use in my workshops already, they're all stolen from other people on the internet, and I can't distribute those to other teachers. So we need professional graphics. We need flowcharts and diagrams and illustrations. We need animations, maybe some cartoons, and it's all got to be packaged under a Creative Commons license so that it's free for non-commercial use by anybody else in the world. So there we are. I need your help to give away a program that works. I need your help financially to pay for professional quality material, and I need your help after we've produced that to test it. I want you to use this material with your friends or in your own classes and give me some feedback. And I want you to help me by putting the word out. You can do that now by telling your friends and asking them to contribute something towards the program. And in the future, when it's all finished, you can help by putting the word out, telling other teachers about this so that they can use it for free.
People are trying to work out, how do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that, given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week?